What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Thank you for stopping in. Today, we have an unboxing to dig into coming in from Ganzo. Before we get started, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I release daily knife and EDC content. Hit that thumbs up button. That helps push this video out there to more people. Let everyone know what you're carrying in your pockets today down in the comments. Love seeing what you guys have for your EDC. Thank you to Ganzo for sending this in. It's been a little while since we've had a Ganzo in to check out. I'm really stoked. I think most people would agree that Ganzo, under $30, Ganzo is probably the golden child, at least in my opinion. If you want something under 30 bucks, Ganzo is usually one of the first choices, I would say, for most people. Nice packaging, microfiber cloth. Looks like they've definitely, I think, went under some new packaging materials. So I will have this linked down below, but this is the G768, and that's how they label their knives, is with numbers. But I will have this and a few other Ganzos that I highly recommend down in the description of this video. Now, this is one that I have not seen yet here. So we got a textured handle, crossbar lock. We have thumb studs and a cutout there. We have a lower mounted deep carry clip. It's recessed. The screws are button top, but looks like there's a decent amount of room in there. We'll check that. And it's going to be reversible. They include a lanyard hole there for the lanyard fans. Our blade is centered up. Ooh, what? That's good. That's really good. Whoo. So we have a very casual drop point blade there. Nice little swedge that rolls to the tip, and that starts off from that flat. We have a very high saber ground. Now this is going to be coming in D2, and Ganzo uses a lot of 440, and they also use a lot of D2. Now they're much more inexpensive knives, so say under 25 or under 20, a lot of those will be in 440, but they also do D2, which is going to be, in that next price jump. But Ganzo does a flawless job on their D2 and their 440. I was talking with another viewer, and they agreed their 440 is just top-notch stuff. And 440 was once recognized as, a great steel. And, it still holds true. It's still a good steel, especially if you can score it, under 25 bucks and have it done properly the way it should be, and then come out of the box, nice and sharp. That's what Ganzo does. And, that's why they're so popular. They're widely known across the knife community and across the knife world in general. You're going to have a little bit poking out there, but that'll be nice in order to get this in and out of the pocket. So this is going to still be coming in under $30, and I believe that's not even with a sale. So we're looking at 3.5 inches of total blade here, about 3 3/8 of cutting edge, and then we're coming down around 8 1/8, right about 8 1/8 there. You'll be able to get a good idea on the size here. We have the bug out and the para 3, and it's going to be quite a bit bigger than both of those. Now we put it up against the Paramilitary 2 and the full-size Ritter Hogue here, and now we're starting to get a very equivalent scale. I would say it's identical to the PM2. And one more for good measure. You can see here it's taller, it's longer, it's more robust than the 20.5. Now, as far as the weight goes, a lot of times with knives like this, you got a hunk of G10 or FRN, and then you got steel liners. So they normally are going to be a little bit heavier, a little bit more robust, but this isn't going to be 4.1, 4.2. That is not bad at all for the size of this thing, coming in over 8 inches overall, and being as robust as this is, that's not a bad weight for that knife at all. So let's see what kind of edge they put on this D2. And this titanium nitride coating that they're using here, it's going to really help the D2 not have its, corrosion issues. At this point, you basically just have to worry about the edge with D2 and corrosion. If you live in an area where it's going to be humid and possibly cause issues for, a steel, and you're going to know, depending on where you live, like in Pennsylvania here, it depends on the finish of the blade. For all steels, for that matter, I've had M390 start to corrode because it had a bead blast on it. So, it's going to be dependent on where you live, what the coating is, if there is one, and what the steel is. And I've not had any issues with any stonewashed D2, any coated D2, not even on the edges. And that's, with limited care for the corrosion. I'm not out here, every day oiling my non-stainless knives, I'm not doing that. And they do well. This coating does well. It does what it's supposed to. No, it's not going to be a DLC coating. It's not going to stand up like a DLC coating will. But for under $30, Ganzo, this knife right here, this is possibly off early. I don't think it's, I'm not like over the moon because, for this new knife. It's a $30 knife. But this might be one of my favorite, if not my favorite Ganzos that I have checked out. I've handled probably 5 or 6 of them, but this one I really like. I like the crossbar. I like that you got the studs and the cutout combination there. So you can use both. You can use the hole on both sides, no problem. And you can use the studs on both sides, no problem. You got some heavy duty jimping up there. Sharpening choil, I'm not one to talk about that and give advice. Doesn't look that great, but like here again, $30. So kind of hard to complain about that. And you could probably do some. I mean, it's okay. I think you'll get a decent amount of sharpening out of this. If you can sharpen this under normal use, daily use, casual use, and you can sharpen this a few times after that, I think it's probably fair to say you got your money's worth out of the knife. So let's check this lock. I don't think we're going to have any issues, even though everything is coated. I don't think we'll have any issues with this crossbar lock here. Crossbar locks are, at this point in time, crossbar locks are very durable. Under normal circumstances, a crossbar lock will be just fine for your folding knife. Yeah, I think I'm willing to go out on a limb here and say this is probably my favorite Ganzo. I think there was 2 other ones. I really like them. They're great knives. They're just a little smaller. They're just like this, basically, but they're a little smaller. And the pocket clip design's a little bit different on those models. I think I much prefer this one. Those were crossbar locks, too. They do a phenomenal job with their crossbar lock knives. But I like that whole stud combo. I like this blade shape a lot. And then that crossbar lock with the textured handle. Hell, they even include a nice filler tab there. I mean, you can't ask for much more. Sure, I'd like it if there was no Ganzo there, but I'm not gonna complain about that. And there's probably a way that they could make it so that screw, move the pocket clip up to the butt end all the way and use the top screw and just run that all the way to the other side. You'd eliminate some hardware and that clip would deepen up there a little bit. But not a huge deal. It's going to carry pretty deep, but still give you enough access there to easily get this out of your pocket. And after some break-in, just like the other Ganzos, this is going to have really good action. It's already breaking in very nicely. You'll have to let me know. What do you think of the Ganzo line of knives? I know they won't be for everyone, and that's okay, but I think there's a fair majority of people that started with a Ganzo, first learned how to sharpen on a Ganzo. I think if everybody's being honest, right, I think Ganzo has played a significant role for a lot of various people. Now, not that this was my first knife or anything like that, but I could fully see somebody picking one of these up and really hurling them into the knife and EDC world, the EDC community. So I think these knives are great. This is a high value budget knife right here. This is hard to beat. If you just want a solid cutting tool, very hard to beat right there. Like I said, I'll link it down below. Thank you to Ganzo for sending it in for us to take a look at. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. That helps push this video out there to more people. If you are new here, I release daily knife and EDC content just like this. Hit the subscribe button and hit that bell. That way you can be notified anytime we release a new video. I will throw up my latest video over here and one of my favorite recent videos over here. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.